Hi, my name is Mike Stopforth. I am 41 years old and I'm the director at Beyond Binary, a digital transformation consultancy. So Steve and I think connected originally quite serendipitously. There was a need on his side to evaluate the digital health of his offering, and on my side probably to do a lot more push-ups. So we had a conversation originally about a trade exchange and how we could learn from each other's experience, and really the relationship blossomed from there. I mean, this must have been a year and a half ago now, so it's been some time that's passed. If I'm honest, the process initially was one of educating me. I came into the relationship a bit of a biohacking skeptic, a little bit unsure of exactly what it was that we were going to do together, and how would I describe it? I'm not really I'm quite conservative when it comes to health. So Steve really helped me understand that there are new dimensions to understanding holistic health and integrated health that I really hadn't ever considered as possibilities, and was just really great from a hands-on educational input perspective. So yeah, I really appreciated having him and having his wisdom be a part of my journey from day one, so that all of my kind of hesitation, my skepticism could be assuaged, really soon in the process. Yeah, so we started really from the ground up. We started with a clean slate, essentially. And one of the things I really appreciate about interacting with Steve is that, my experience with many medical health professionals is that, there's that old adage, when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. So I would deal with general practitioners who kind of had a very superficial and broad view of things, but not necessarily an integrated view of things. Or I would engage with a specialist who was like, you have a sore throat, and I'm like, yeah, but also a broken arm, and it's all connected. And Steve has this, he's got the full tool set. He's got this diverse range of skills, experience, perspectives, and not only is he helping me understand the implication of the connectedness of these things myself and telling me what to do, I'm watching him do it himself. So when you meet Steve, when you interact with him, you get a sense of his vitality, his energy, his health. And that's, just by virtue of the kind of infectiousness and the contagiousness of that, is motivating in its own right. So I really appreciate that he's not just telling me what to do, he's eating his own cooking. Yeah, so we focused, Steve and I, on three things really. We focused on understanding my blood work and getting enough data over a period of time that it could be meaningful and that it wasn't necessarily just occasional data. We also looked at sleep data. Now I'm very lucky, sleep has not been a problem in my life, certainly not in the recent past and not before that. But what we wanted to do is ascertain the quality of sleep, sleep rhythms as such. So we used a combination of different things. We used existing data that I had, we used anecdotal evidence, we used my Garmin wearable to make sure that we were tracking that data, and then we obviously mapped that against other key metrics. Once we had a better understanding of the blood work and the sleep data, we could start building on things like diet, my exercise routines, some of the habits just in my day that were impacting on my experience of health and wellness. But a big step, and this is on quite a personal level, was Steve's recommendation to me was that I think very carefully about medication that I was using to moderate or mitigate chemical imbalances in my system. And while I am not in any way, shape or form suggesting that shouldn't be a solution for people that struggle with mental health or with chemical imbalances in any way, weaning myself off that for me was a significant achievement in this journey. It took time, it took energy, it took application, and it meant that I had to change my habits to support a lifestyle that in turn enabled me to kind of organically and naturally support my own balances. Well, my experience of biohacking was really through the lens of popular podcasters and personalities like Tim Ferriss or Kevin Rose that I know are big advocates of the process of understanding one's health intrinsically. I also have a dear friend in my network who's very intentional about this process himself, which helped me, I think, because I had a level of comfort in knowing the impact that it's had on his life. But as I said before, I went in really skeptical. I went in, with a sense that biohacking sounded like a bit of a quick fix, and what I didn't understand was it wasn't that at all. It was about a different perspective. It was about a data and insight informed approach to wellness and wholeness, and also about looking at the full three-dimensional view of my wellness experience, including sleep, obviously, including exercise, including diet, including historical health challenges, whatever it might be. And that was a very different experience for me, and I appreciated that because I didn't feel like I was leaving anything out of the process. One of the key learnings for me out of the process with Steve is that biohacking is not a project or necessarily an end goal. It's a lifetime commitment. It's a lifetime process of understanding at a deeper level the key metrics that inform the quality of life that I have, understanding vitality, understanding energy, understanding the multiple factors that impact on my ability to do work well and to live fully. So really for me, biohacking is become less about hacking and less about, and more about a concerted, integrated, long-term commitment to vitality and abundance.